Buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy night.
Is this thing on? Matt Rife, it's for pussies.
Okay, welcome to Uncensored Radio. You see
Vera,
our live.
I shouldn't.
I don't know how's everyone's last 48 hours been. It's been quite interesting. All right, so we have, first of all, before we get started, I do have to introduce our special guests. Hi, Anna Renata from Frightfully Good. How are you? You've come along for the ride tonight. Now it should be interesting. So you can just sit back and enjoy, and feel free to jump in whenever you have a comment.
We will.
Okay. So, we're not going to go through the usual formalities. This is the Uncensored crew. We have Vera, Jeff, Luke, and Christina with us, and we've had a very busy 48 hours, all because of a little article that I posted literally 2 days ago about. Here we go. We're starting.
The sexy
Hi
meat
from the
pie.
US. Hi, Jody. It's Jody Music.
Okay, wait, can we just back up? Who posted the article?
I did. Nick, I don't care. I posted the article. Yes, I posted the article.
Okay.
And
Can you say that once again, Steve?
I posted the article, and we were following the news. The news of the day was all about Matt Rife, comedian, his Netflix special, Natural Selection, which debuted this week. And Matt has had some controversy, as reported by, some pissy little, publications like Deadline and Variety and, every news source. So what I thought I would do, just as, maybe a little bit of a proof that we're not the cancel culture police, is that we might do a little bit of a shared...
Never.
Yeah, us. I thought we might do a little bit of a Google search online right now, so people can see that this is not
something. Over to Twitter, and you'll see the news trending, and people want to cancel the poor bastard.
All right,
so can we explain then to the ladies that have joined us
I'm going to. So we're Googling Matt Rife live now. Okay.
I'm really disappointed that it doesn't say naked afterwards or like dick style.
I know, right? And there's Matt looking all handsome and whatnot. So we'll go to the news. Matt Rife ignites backlash over domestic violence joke on Netflix special. Variety. The controversy over Matt Rife's Netflix special and his response. Forbes. News.com. Comedian's cringe act resurfaces with that, which is, him just being creepy with Zendaya. But we go down, and there is quite a few, posts on the fact that Matt made a joke in his Netflix special that opened his show with a domestic violence joke. And for those of you that haven't seen it, yes, I watched the whole thing. So before anyone wants to come for me about that, that's fine. I went to watch the whole thing. And the joke was about him going to, I think it was the Waffle House or something like that. They went to the Waffle House, and the waitress that was sat there had a black eye. And they were joking. He was like, "Oh, she's the face of the company. Is that the face she should be put in the kitchen?" And the punchline of the joke was, if she was any good in the kitchen, she might not have that black eye.
The punchline.
Now, apparently, us recording on that joke and taking quotes means that we are now the cancel police. We are cancel culture. Now, for anyone like that, strangely, the numbers that I'm watching at the moment don't reflect everyone that had an opinion. But I will share how many people had an opinion, because I have. We have from the article, which was not one-sided in any way. We were just reporting what everyone else is reporting.
Well, our opinion wasn't in it.
No, we didn't have an opinion. We were giving facts. and letting people decide, like we do on this show and have done ever since I've joined the show and before, because I used to listen to the show. So we have 47k reactions to the article, 21k comments, 3.1k shares, and a reach of 3,509,250 people that all have varying reactions to Matt.
Oh my god!
So yeah, my phone hasn't stopped in the last 48 hours. So
Thank you.
that's where we're starting the show tonight, because I was prepared. I'm prepared to answer our critics and anyone that would like to speak up. Strangely, they don't seem to be here to back up their opinions that they could do online.
How many people
Which if they actually watch Matt's special, the whole last nearly 20 minutes is about online trolling and how people react to his stand-up.
That's where I find the hypocrisy. They think we're cancelling him, so they're trying to cancel us.
His fans are trying to do exactly what he says he's against, which is not his fault. It's the fan base.
And didn't we just talk about him? What was it, 2-3 weeks ago? No, it was last month, right? After I went
like a month ago.
Jessica, what is it? Jessica, oh God, what's her last name? Kershon or whatever? No, the one
Jessie Kirsten. Yeah.
I just went and saw her, right? And we were talking about I was comparing her and Matt about how his crowd work is really, really great, but everybody that I know that's gone and see him said that his stand-up is not as great as his crowd work. So we've already had this conversation, right? Right. Nothing against him. And I watched the special, and I kind of thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, okay. His crowd works really great. His Netflix special just, I don't care about the joke. We've always said this, right? Vera, you've done stand-up. I've done stand-up. I don't care, right? Like when Tracy Morgan years ago did all the gay jokes, when Kevin Hart did he shouldn't have lost his job. I don't care. I don't care the jokes. You're doing comedy. That's what it's for. It doesn't matter, right? To me, I just find the joke funny.
It's interesting
I thought it was
that you bring that up, though, because we actually had a submission from someone who watches this show who didn't want to show their face, that talks about how they were triggered by the joke. So there is the other side too, and I thought out of fairness, we would give that a voice as well.
You like that now, I'm guessing?
Yes, okay. I guess so, with all of that lead-in.
All right, here we go.
Sat down happily to watch a cute comedian like most of us did, like normal. In seconds, I had full body shakes, was frozen and thoughtless, because I was having an adrenaline rush as I was triggered. You see, I have PTSD from DV abuse. My body, mind, subconscious and conscious can be triggered by sound, taste, touch and smell into thinking it's in danger, and it reacts. I can't always control my reactions, but Matt can control his words. Words that hurt not just mine and other survivors' damaged brains, but victims as well. As abusers have a warped sense of reality and can turn Matt's joke into consent, agreement and okay. I know it's hard to understand, but they live in a warped version of a world that favours them, using everything to turn bad into good, keep their victims and to get people to side with them. Everything including jokes. Harmless jokes they warp into reality, warp into truth.
There we go. So look, there are, as we always try to present on this show, there are multiple sides to every story. Yeah.
Well,
I think the most important.
Yep. As a fat Hispanic crippled woman, I've had plenty of jokes that have been a little fucking close to home. Okay. But they're jokes. If I don't like them, I don't have to listen to them.
I know, Vera. If you turn on Family Guy, you're fucked.
Yeah, I know, right? I can't. I don't have to like the joke to respect the fact that is free speech, and comedy is an art form. If we perform art here, is a to anybody's standard. You know, they can say we're not funny. I don't care.
Yeah, they can say we're not funny. No one watches our show, but thank you for the 3 million
No,
interactions.
someone
We'll
said
take it.
our parents do, and then I was like, sad face,
No,
they don't.
our parents don't
My
watch the
mother
show.
does not. That bitch has never watched the show.
My mother couldn't turn on a
My mom
computer
either.
to save her life.
Oh my God, you're fucking mean. Her mother's dead, asshole. You're a cocksucker. Ah!
Now, I'm going to throw it to Anna Renata here because they are not unfamiliar with some internet trolls. Tell us your experience.
Because we work with Isaac, who is constantly getting cancelled because of his sense of humour. But in response to that person's comment that they sent to the show, I'm very sorry for their trauma. I'm sorry they've been through that. But I, walking the streets every day, don't know the traumas that everybody has suffered.
Exactly.
So I may say something very simple which could trigger someone's trauma. I have a little suitcase that I love to carry everywhere. It's a little coffin bag in the shape of the coffin. And I stopped taking it out because I thought, what if somebody's had a child that died young? That's going to trigger them. So where do we draw the line of triggering people? And if people are being triggered by that thing, it means that they need to do work on that thing. They need to seek help to work on what that trauma is, because we simply can't know every single person's life experience and trauma. I'm not saying that we should make jokes about that sort of thing publicly or whatever. I'm just saying with those triggers, people are always saying, oh, but you triggered me. And I said, well, how am I supposed to know that?
Right.
Only you.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, right? So if you have a group of friends and one person is hiding the fact, right, that they're in recovery, they go to meetings, right? And you all decide to have cocktails. Is it our responsibility for that person's recovery, or is it theirs?
Yeah.
Right.
At what point is it the person's responsibility? So if I've been through trauma in my life, right? Okay. Murder, suicide. My grandfather shot my grandmother while she was sleeping. I have taken that to the stage. And I find humor in that, right? Because
Christina, you know this.
that's how.
No, I did not. I did not know that.
I deal with it, right? Like for me, I can take that and I try to twist it and make it something to laugh about, right? And people are like,
But Jeffrey, the difference is you're talking about something personal to you. And a lot of comedians will do that. They may talk about things that are really super, super difficult, but they're talking from their own personal thing that's going on. And that does make it different than speaking generalized in a generalized way. It's a great way of doing it. And I know a lot of comedians may probably not suffer from certain things, but they will say, I did or I have, to personalize it and then bring it across from a funny perspective, because that's what you got to do in life. Everyone has shit, and eventually, you either drown in it or you make a joke of it and try and get on. But it's very different when it's sort of saying, this has happened to me, therefore I have a reasoning to say something about it, whereas, other people may not. I mean, my mother was in Auschwitz. Can I make a joke about that? Probably. Is it going to be in good taste? Probably not. But I can say, well, my mother was in Auschwitz. She told me the thing. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to turn it into something funny because you can't deal with this trauma any other way. If my mother hadn't been there and I chose to do some sort of a joke about it, would it come off differently? I probably wouldn't say it. I probably would have. I'd have more courage to say something that I knew I or my family or someone close to me was involved in, because it's like I've got permission to do that. It's a really fine line with all of this. It really is, and like everyone's got an opinion, I guess, and they can have an opinion. That's the world we live in. They're allowed to voice.
I found out a lot of information about a lot of people. This is wow.
Christina was like, "Can I have the night off?" And now she's like, "What the fuck's going on, man? What the
So glad
fuck
I
is
came on.
happening
Like,
in my
holy
house?"
shit.
My problem.
I think
Yeah.
Renata
Wait a second.
touched on
Go,
something
Vera.
there though.
Let Vera go. Then we'll go, Luke. Yeah.
My problem is not that, like I said, I haven't seen the special yet. I probably will watch it because I do like Matt Rife stuff that I've seen on TikTok and other platforms. And I want to know what the controversy is. But there are plenty of comedians who I don't. Andrew Dice Clay, don't care for him. You know, I don't find him funny, but I will fight to the death for his right to say it. You know, it's free speech. It's protected speech. You know, I don't have to like it. I don't even have to listen to it.
Okay.
And we were not trying to cancel Matt Rife. We were simply reporting, and everybody started calling us the cancel police. You know?
Sorry, Luke. You can finish your thought.
Oh. No, Renata touched on something very important though in regards to comedy, and it's the intention behind it. Like in that case, Renata, you're not saying a joke about Auschwitz from a mean-spirited place. You're saying it from a place, and a comedy has this power to show the world something so awful, but show them in a way that, hey, we can acknowledge that this terrible thing's happened, but we can do it in a way that's not going to be so horrible for our bodies to go through, and we can just laugh but go, yeah, like that's really horrible.
That's the point of comedy. The point of comedy, the point of satire.
Yeah, I think intelligent comedy does that. It's when comedy's trashy that it doesn't sit anywhere on the scale. You know, just to say something and it just comes out as absolute trash isn't good comedy. Comedy needs to be thought out and, you know, really, really looked at in a way where it makes sense. And I'm not a comedian. I don't know.
Reluctant comedian.
You kind of think that, you know, you work comedy and you do it in a smart way. I was saying to Anne, I made her laugh, so I must be a comedian. I was saying to Anne, I'm old enough to know when the old comedians were doing comedy. You're talking about, you know, Carol Burnett, you know, Bob Hope, even all of those
Joan
comedians.
Rivers, all those people.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers was next one, but and as you said, it was all intended in what they were saying, but they never actually said it. So your mind did the punchline, however you wanted it to be. And it was hilarious stuff, absolutely hilarious. But comedy's changed. It's changed, I guess, because we've all changed as well. And so, I mean, comedy is only a mirror to what our environment is, and it kind of says a little bit about our environment more than anything else, more than this guy, because he's only saying the things that he knows are going to get clicks, likes, or whatever. And so what is it saying about us and how we've changed and what we expect and what riles us? What button has to be pressed for us to get so angry or irritated to say something? You know, it's what level are we now at that needs to sort of happen? Very different to 20, 30, 40 years ago.
And as for the audience laughed, we were just having a look at that clip beforehand, and our friend Sue pointed out that it sounded like canned laughter.
Yeah, it did.
Well, it is a Netflix special. We like, there are times when you can hear maybe not authentic, like you know, there's a random burst of laughter.
They were not laughing like you hear people laughing at a comedy show. Like,
no. But we know with Isaac that sometimes when he does one of those really bad jokes at his live shows, everyone goes, "Ooh."
Yeah, the intake of breath is usually the one that you go, "Oh, okay, that's the line," and this is the whole joke of the joke. When you see what he does, he's like, "I'm dipping my toe in to see where we're at, like to see where, like how far he can push it." And I've seen so many comedians do that. Like, countless comedians drop a really heinous joke to go, okay, this is the line for this audience. And you never know because different people
gotta figure it out,
reactions.
right? Like it's a wave
Right.
you gotta ride. Because there's some audiences that you can go and you can do the dirty things or the sexual things, and then you just can't go there, right? You've got to figure out where you can go with them. And that's the tough part of all this. You've got to be able to kind of be fluid while you're doing a show. And I think for him, it's even more difficult, right? Because we've now in TikTok world, right? We've got 3-minute clips. So he's putting all these clips of all of his crowd work, all of his best stuff. That's what everybody's seeing. So now you're seeing a whole hour special that Netflix is editing. And it's not the same as what he's put out in the past.
And it's not a coincidence that it, after, like the Netflix, every time there's a Netflix comedy special, it's guaranteed to get some kind of blowback. Like it's the way that they edit that most of us has been to stand-up comedy before. It isn't a tight hour of joke. That's not how it is. That's how it's edited down. And I think he's fallen prey to the editing machine. But you have to know what you're going to see before you click OK. The first thing that comes up when you press play on that special is warning, crude humor. And that's all it is. It's not hateful. It's not delivered in a hateful way. It's not delivered in a bigoted way. Some of the jokes, look a little bit misogynist. Yes, okay. A little bit ableist. Yes, okay. Like there's sexuality things, but that's what comedy is. It's holding a mirror up to, as we said, our current society and going, this is what you're going to be offended by.
Right, but if you watch even his crowd work, you know that that's his bag.
That's what he does.
Nobody should be
Christina
shocked or upset by that. So that's, I don't understand why people get so pissed off about this. Because if you don't like this shit, why are you watching it to begin with? And if you do like him, just understand, okay, so he had a joke you didn't like. Fucking move on. Get over it and go watch, somebody else. Go watch the Jesus comic that's on there. What's her face? The one with the really obnoxious voice. It's like,
Christina, it's you. What are you going to say?
I just have to say that, honestly, if you bought tickets to his show, you know exactly what the fuck you were in for. I don't agree with the joke. Obviously, if it affected people, I'm sure he's sorry for what he said. But he said worse things. And that's what's, amazing to me is that in most of his shows, like you just said, he says, we have a bad crowd tonight. Or oh, God, come on, guys, don't be so sensitive. He will test things and say things first, and then it'll be like, oh, this is ridiculous. You guys are just sensitive. And so with that joke, honestly, with me being Italian, honestly, I think it's funny because, again, you're in the kitchen if you're not good. You deserve a punch in the eye. I don't think it's funny, but aesthetically and I guess
is funny.
It's you laugh.
Culturally, it's funny. I did laugh because it is fucking funny. Again, I think it's funny. Like the guy said, Dave Mann, whatever comment that was, I agree with that full comment completely because it's correct. I don't agree with domestic abuse, obviously not, but my kind of funny, that's my kind of funny. And I think that's Matt's kind of funny. And that's who the people who bought the tickets to the show are kind of funny. But the people online who are watching it who really don't get his comedy or get his comedic personality, then you're going to get offended by that because you're watching.
That's what I want to talk about next. That's what I want to talk about next because there is Matt Rife, the comedian.
Joe just said he wants to punch me in the face all the time. My husband.
Yeah. Not unlike Isaac. Isaac Butterfield. Isaac Butterfield has an Isaac Butterfield comedian personality where Isaac will say the most controversial things. That's what Isaac does. That's his brand. That's how he generates conversation. That's how he generates his comedy. Knowing Isaac away from that, he is not that person. That is a character he portrays for his comedy. I think that anyone that's watched any of Matt Rife's stuff more than just crowd work understands that kind of bro like 90s comedy is what he does. That's his bread and butter, and that's fine. That's not everyone's jizz. He said not everyone's jizz, as Renata would say, but when it comes down to it, he has said worse. He has said, my God, the people that are coming after us, we have said a lot worse on this show. And
know,
right.
We're Karen.
Yeah, right. We're like, what's the first word we say every 10 or every 10 minutes into every show?
Yeah. There's a full little litany of words that come out. But Anna Renata can speak a little bit more on the Isaac thing, and public persona, and you two are the same. You have a comedic public persona, but that's not who you are 24/7.
No, it'd be tiring.
No,
wait, you guys aren't happy and bubbly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, no.
husbands, no.
If you are, I need to know what drugs you're on.
We're trying to sort of save each other from jumping off cliffs half the time. It's a mask you wear to engage with the people who like what we do, and it takes energy to maintain that. And no, I can't do it 24/7.
Yeah, and as with Isaac and his wife and baby, they are a beautiful family and very, very caring. And
they support so many rescue groups and are out actively doing things to help make the world a better place.
I often say to Anne, it's this weird positioning of a double persona, someone who is so caring and so beautiful and so lovely, and yet they'll get on stage and they'll certainly say some things. And I said, Dan, there have been things that Isaac has said that have really sort of triggered me when you talk about older people. And you kind of go, where is that point where you stand where as a comedian you'll go, that's a little bit too much for me to say. I won't say that. Do comedians have to push that now because of what is what they feel is needed for them to get the likes and then to get the people to follow them?
Well, do they have to? That's what they're trying to do.
Do they have to kind of swallow their own pride in their own beliefs about what's right or wrong?
And what's the price?
Yeah, because they know they won't get money. They won't get bums on seats. They won't get views if they go to vanilla. That's another thing.
And Isaac's got to the stage now that he's getting death threats to him and his family, and he has to take bodyguards with him to shows to protect them.
He just needs to go with the audience we have on that post, man. You know what I'm saying? They clearly want more.
But because Netflix would know what was submitted for this show too was Netflix knew exactly what the content was too, and I think that puts Matt in this position too, peculiar position where it is a mask because you're putting on a performance, but you're normally performing for the room. You've read the room, you've got the vibe.
Yes.
Now you're performing through this lens to the world as well, and they are not all gelling. There's people at home like the lady who submitted the video that are not cool with it. So I get that there's going to be this kind of blow up, but it's part of just the business. Who cares? Look,
it is.
Turn off.
Exactly. You can change the channel, and the remarkable thing that seems to be coming through is how mixed the messages are in the comments. There are people that we're Karens, we're the cancel police, but they haven't actually read the article. Look, my phone's still going off right now.
I'm sorry. The person who said I had to screenshot it, when they called Katie McCarthy the Karen, I was
they would love Vera and I stand-up sets if they done that, right? Because they push every boundary there is. I mean, I'm so foul-mouthed and nasty on stage. It's just not even right.
That's not Jeffrey in real life either. Like, there are people on this screen that we perform for this camera, and then when we get off screen, we are very different people. Like,
you mean like Luke being a messy bottom?
yeah, that
Oh my God.
standard. But I'm really interested in the people that there's two different kinds of people. There are people that will have their say publicly and post it in the comments, for everyone to see, and they are willing to stand behind their words and their power and all that kind of thing and make the statement they want to say. Then there's people who decide to maybe inbox you when no one can see it, or they think no one can see it. Oops. So, according to Chris Chamel Jr., we are a bunch of cucks. Chance Love says that
As a matter of
podcast.
fact, Chris, if you want to come over later.
Yep. Chance Love says that our podcast must be run by a minority, which I think says a lot more about him than it does about us.
I'm here, kid.
He's right on the money.
But
good job.
Bryce Sonberg has a longer take, so I thought we'd share it since Bryce felt the need to share with us.
Oh, do we have a whole novel of Bryce? Can you put on like a professional voice when you read this?
Bryce says, I cannot believe you have 17k followers on here. Terrible takes, soft ideology, mostly mentally handicapped. Congrats. There
Wow.
And these are the people.
I actually find that far more offensive than what that comedian said on his show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right?
Personal attack.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
very, very different.
And this is where I draw the line, because as soon as you can have any argument you want, and I've said this both on this show and offline when we've had arguments about politics and all this kind of stuff, and
Not us.
panel members and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, no, we have.
You lose all credibility when your argument has to turn personal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you can't stand up for your beliefs without going, what would you know? You're fat and you're ugly. It's like, okay, well, congratulations. You're not telling me anything I don't know.
I don't mind the insulting stuff, but don't be posting slander like our parents watch the show. They would never be caught a million years watching this show.
They don't want to be associated with us.
No.
And I hate that bitch. I keep sending her urns and gift cards to the funeral homes. TikTok, hurry the fuck up, bitch. Move it along.
So yeah, I found it very interesting that our viral moment and everyone's like, uncensored radio, you should change your name. It's like,
Matt Rife.
Those golden ones, the ones where they call us all mentally unwell.
Yeah, just to be clear.
Oh, that's a great one.
Uncensored radio or unscripted radio, as it started out, has actually been around a lot longer than Matt Rife. So we may not have the 200,000 followers that he's picked up since the Netflix special, but we've got some. So thank you if you're following us now. We love you. But you know what? All the hate and the venom and the whatnot that you spewed at us has actually lifted everything on the page. So, congratulations.
Well, here's the thing. We got like 2 degrees of separation.
His page and his profile and his views. They've all gone up too.
Yeah.
Right? Like Nick Cannon. Had a thing with Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah.
Katrina A. Johnson from Nickelodeon's All That. Nick Cannon, Matt Rife. So
yes, we are. We're swimming in hurly burly circles as we usually do. It's very dramatic. But I love for everyone that thinks that we're not funny.
Jody.
Thank you, Jody. Oh, look
at that
crossover
shit.
Content, Anna Renata. We love
What
it.
is it?
We love Jody.
Jody's become censored radio subscriber now too. God love you. You think Anna Renata and Blue? Welcome to the. I don't know what you'd call us. Black as midnight.
Mentally handicapped.
The point that I'm trying to get. Anyway, I'm squirreling. Squirreling because that's been a very sleepless.
No, we'll rebrand our show with Vera as just a still of Vera like this. It'll be Quinn Sailor's radio.
Maybe we should just call it like Miss Wigfest 2005 and Friends. You know what I mean? Best trailer trash wear.
So yeah, even the haters, you know what? As if you got haters, you're doing something right. Everyone that has come to tell us that we are not funny, that we are poor journalists.
Oh my God.
And that's all true stuff. That's okay.
Yeah, this is all true stuff. But you know what? Every click that you give us only makes us stronger.
Oh, wait. We gotta tell them my favorite part of all this. You fucking morons, okay? When you're like, oh, how'd I get to this fucking bullshit page? I don't care. The more you click, you stupid fuck, the more you're gonna see pages like ours. You can keep thinking you're superior, you dumb son of a bitch, but the more you interact with us, the more you're going to see content like us. You're welcome.
That's scary.
Oh God.
Was a little bit.
All right, I think we can put Matt to bed now. After 35
I'll put
minutes.
Matt to bed.
Wanted to.
I know. Look, he's weirdly pretty. I wouldn't call him conventionally attractive. He is a pretty boy. So more power
I
to him.
sucked the fucking soul right out of his brain.
I think he's
Yeah.
a pretty boy.
Someone said,
Amen.
someone did say, someone said
Amen.
they sucked the skin off him. So it was, look.
Oh,
The predominant. I love that he said his special is for the boys. The audience at the theater is 70% women.
Women throw themselves at him.
He's pretty, and that's the thing. You don't have to be that funny to be when you're that pretty. I've been a pretty privilege. Never hurt anyone.
Will you kiss me? The 80-year-old women coming in and saying, "I want."
Yeah, they like some of the stuff that those women's like. Everyone's on about the objectification of women, but some of the stuff that he puts on the TikTok, you're like, that poor boy's not going to make it out of there alive. Like,
yeah, and some of those 80-year-old women wouldn't be able to take a punch really well.
Oh my God, Luke, stop it! They grew up in the Great Depression.
You kinky bitch.
I didn't hear the joke.
They're not called the strongest generation for a reason, you know. Anyway, bad jokes. Bad jokes.
Jack.
All right, I am Jack. So we have
Jeffrey.
freedom of. It's funny because the freedom of speech thing is our
listening.
Is our theme. The freedom of speech thing is our theme. Now we have two people that I think will be able to speak on this. Snoop Dogg caused a little bit of controversy this week by making an announcement. After much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time. Snoop Dogg.
It sounds like someone's died.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Did anyone,
and the imagery is very religious looking too. Like it may as well be the statue of Jesus.
Right.
Like,
has anyone followed this story at all?
Yeah, of course.
Look,
yeah,
I think
he's my guy.
Hold up. Christina, what's the outcome of this story? What's the ending of this story?
That he's like an amazing marketing genius because he is now like the spokesperson for Solo Stove, which is like a smokeless fire pit. My brother has a really large one and my father has like a smaller version of it. And it's amazing. It's like a little fire pit and it doesn't like emit smoke. So like you don't smell like a fire and like you don't get hit in the face with the smoke. And...
So he didn't even mean marijuana at all. He didn't mean the illicit weed.
No, he wasn't. I didn't have anything to do with weed at all. It was a whole big like marketing.
Genius. Where's his 21,000 comments?
So
it was 2 days later that he announced the Solo Stove.
But this
promo.
is the thing, yeah. He got like all of these messages of support because what he said, he was talking about becoming a grandfather and realizing that things, that I can't be doing the things that I used to do and da. It's like, hold up.
Wait
But
a
isn't that
minute.
exactly what you ended up doing?
He didn't say anything,
you're
though.
dressing up concern for your family to promote a grill.
I think whatever comments he had given, I think that those are like older comments. I don't think he ever spoke out about this, like in the 2 days. Because it was like, please respect my privacy. And then the next day, it was the solo stove thing. So, like, he had one day, and he was probably like, yeah, guys, I'm not sticking to this story.
As the
I don't think the comments
say,
that he was saying.
Great marketing 101.
I'm gonna I'm grabbing that
It's
comment
really
for you
so
now,
smart.
Jeff. We've had another couple of thousand.
What about the? I love the one where you said the show's cancelled today, Steve. That made me laugh so hard in bed. I was having a happy moment.
All right, hold on. I need my winkers on. I'll read this. Jacob Rose said, "No man, who are they? I only clicked the link because I like the guy." Oh wow. Okay.
English.
Yeah, I think that the education system has a lot to answer for. Who are they? I only clicked the link because I like the guy stand up. Are these guys trying to promote their show instead of promoting a comedian? They can talk about this. That is the problem with America today. Nobody supports each other anymore. One full stop. I would watch their show. They had him on. Hold on. I would watch their show. They had him on. Besides that, why would I watch their show? Give me one good reason. Uncensored Radio. Why or what is it that you do unique? Please elaborate depending on your answer. You could have gained a fan. Probably not now. I could just keep going on with my life.
Well, why do these people think we want them? Like, I don't know.
We'll take anyone. We'll take anyone, but you know.
Come watch our show.
Nobody
We'll
watches
take
our
anyone.
show anyways. We don't care.
Yeah.
You can't sit at our fucking table, bitch.
It's just very like the run-on set.
Watch it and then comment, and then we'll get into a fight. Like,
people are so
online.
angry. They do one long run-on sentence. It's just like
Anna and Renata are like, we're out.
They're like, we don't want to associate with this fucking
She gonna
mess
go do a
anymore.
shot? Are we doing shots on air?
Yeah.
Shot.
I got vodka in the house. I can do a shot.
Oh, here we go. This is the one. Yeah. We didn't.
This
do a
is
show
what I
this
love.
week on Tuesday. So someone's gone back, and this comment, I love it too. This comment came up today or yesterday because I put a announcement about the No Show on Tuesday. Here it is. This is fantastic. Your program is shit. Thank you.
I laughed so hard.
Wait a minute.
I laughed. I cried in bed laughing.
I'm gonna go message him right now and ask for his address to send him a T-shirt and a.
Oh, good girl.
Invite him to the show. Invite him to watch the show.
Oh, Jeff, do you still have any of those books left over from Christina Lease as well? Throw one of those in.
I thought for sure.
How about some of those gummies, or maybe some easy listening by
My
Katie Hunter?
10 gummies by Perez.
Yeah, we got Perez Hilton gummies. We got lots of shit we can give to you because no one watches the show.
You
That's
can head over to myuncensoredradio.shop and pick up a coffee mug.
Exactly. You know what? Yeah, do it. Look, it's permanently on the screen. That's how I did it. Uncensoredradio.shop. You know what? Here's something you could do because it really worked out well for the Dixie Chicks. Buy our merchandise and then film you burning it. And it worked out great for us.
Oh my god!
That would really.
We had an Anna Renata shirt too. We did have a great Anna Renata shirt, but it flagged for copyright because it was from the old school Ghostbusters.
You could take this coffee
but they can burn their merch too. Those girls are happy if you burn their merch.
Yes. Burn the Golden Girls merch over there.
Yeah, so Jeffrey, you're going to say, what do you want them to do with the cup?
Just get the cup with, Katrina A. Johnson from Nickelodeon's All That Not So Recently featured on TMZ. And me, and you can smash the shit
also,
out
an
of
upcoming film, Black Creek.
We're all we're doing is advertising our stuff, which we are. So why not let's just take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Mhm.
You're already on Facebook.
So, Steve, aside from
Instagram.
the Rife, Strife,
Mama.
and Snoop Dogg trolling everyone as well, because everyone's trolling
wanna
it seems lately.
I do want to talk about another. It's actually this one's a little bit more controversial. It crosses over with another show that we do, Uncensored Horror.
Okay, so
Now-
I've got 2 comments.
Okay, cool. But we are going to talk about. I guess she's one of the. She's guessing. She's one of the stars of the new Scream series, Melissa Barrera, and she has been fired from the upcoming Scream 7 because of her social media views on Palestine. Now, she has been let go because she likened what was happening in Palestine to ethnic cleansing and Holocaust, etc., 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 which has made the company behind Scream 7 obviously a little bit nervous. Well, this is subjective. It's subjective, really, isn't it? No, but this is the point. It's subjective. Like, if that's her opinion, that's her opinion.
Yeah.
But
if
she's
you are-
also under a code of conduct. If she's signed contracts, who knows what's in that contract?
Yeah, you don't know what's in that you don't know what's in that contract, and I am all for people, and as Vera we've discussed before, all for people's freedom of speech. It doesn't mean you have to share everything.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff, words have repercussions, and you can support war-torn countries 100%. I'm not saying not to do that, but know that not everyone is going to side with your views, and there are repercussions. Like when we post stuff that people don't like, they are very quick to let us know.
What are you talking about? What could people possibly not like?
Us.
Vera, you were going to say something?
I just, I have a problem with this. There are quotes from Bibi Netanyahu that just miss that line where he's saying things that sound like ethnic cleansing.
They don't sound like they are. Let's just go there. They are. They are. It's been the plan all along.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. And it's been like that for years and years and years and years and years.
Since baby Jesus.
Even before. They believe they're the promised people, and you can't argue with that as far as
promise.
You can't, as far as they're concerned. So when you look at the land that they're fighting over, it's a tiny little bit, but that's what they're doing. Is it right? No, it's not right. And people need to kind of stand up and go, "You're fucking insane! Just fucking stop it, for God's sake!"
Right. This is the thing we
say. Your savior, your God. He's fine with all of this fucking shit that you're fucking doing. You idiots! Fuck off! Woo!
I love it.
This is we have talked about religion on this program multiple times. There are various associations and degrees of religious connection on the panel that we've had throughout the years. But you can believe whatever you want to believe, whatever lets you put your head on the pillow at night and go, the world is an okay place. As soon as you weaponize your religion against somebody else,
it's
a problem.
It's not a religion anymore.
It's not a religion anymore.
Sorry, but it's not.
It's a Donald Trump supporter.
We're going back there again. Here we go. We're hitting all of them. Hitting all of them tonight.
You can condemn what Hamas did and still acknowledge that what Israel is doing is wrong.
Yeah, the world in a fairly balanced world. In a fairly balanced world where you can see, and again, this is all dependent on the news cycle and what news you choose to take. Because let's not pretend that every news agency is fair and balanced. Yeah,
that is true.
Including ours.
Let's not pretend. I think we are a lot more balanced than a lot of other podcasts that
I
I've seen.
agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I raise you a lot of comments that say otherwise.
But if you
I know.
think we're that fucked up, go back a couple of weeks ago and watch Vera and Christina go at it, right? Yeah. Go back a couple of months ago and watch Tim and Vera go at it. Go back a year ago and watch Jeffrey walk off the show over something that happened with Katie McCarthy.
I'm a Bedler.
Like we are not all buddy. We can all be friends and disagree with things. But we don't take it off screen and go, "You're a fucking idiot," and I'm going to come and firebomb your house because you don't believe the same thing I do. Like that's not in a fair and balanced world. You can believe what you choose to believe. Just be educated. Educate yourself.
Look,
That's all you need to do.
In the olden days, what would happen? And don't say I would know when that was, Anne. Just don't.
200 years ago.
In the olden days, if you had a war, you'd pick a field somewhere. Okay, there's a field out there. All the men that want to fight, go off over there, kill yourselves. It's fine. Leave everyone else alone.
Exactly.
Nowadays, it's like, okay, I'm going to press a button here, and a hospital goes up with women and children, for God's sake, that have got nothing to. I don't care what side you're talking about. I don't care. It's the same atrocity either side.
That's a war crime. That's not war.
It's a war
why
crime.
do that? If you want to fight, go in the field.
Yeah.
We'll put a little fence around you. We'll even give you lights at night so you can
Don't
see
say
each other better.
fence.
And we can take. We can score. We can score. We'll have
trigger
tickets.
word.
We'll dogs.
The Hunger Games. It could be
One of you
great.
can be sponsored by Pepsi. One of you can be sponsored by Coke. It's going to be like.
Absolutely. Leave the poor people that have got nothing to do with it alone. Let them live, for God's sake.
What else about this whole situation? The humanitarian thing to do is to give these people time to flee their homes. What the
Absolutely.
fuck? You're telling them they have to leave or they're going to get killed? What the
Yep.
fuck?
Yeah.
Your murder is your own fault. Like, just be careful.
If you stay, we'll kill you.
Yeah.
Here's 48 hours to pack your life into 6 suitcases and walk across the fucking border into Egypt.
Yeah.
That's humanitarian.
So hard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not walking there.
Too hard.
Too hard. I'm not walking there. Ew.
It's ridiculous that we're living in an age that has, people are getting more riled up about a stupid joke that a comedian says than a whole country being slaughtered. They won't kind of go, oh, I think that's a bit wrong. No, let's get our ass into gear because someone said a stupid joke and 3/4 of the world doesn't even know he's alive.
And let's fire an actress for stating an opinion.
But do you think this is all of this frustration and this internet poison and venom is because people feel powerless against it, so they're striking out at things that are easy targets?
It's because they're very upset because Orange Peach Blossom is not doing so well.
Well, I think that a lot of the trolls that were on our page in the last 48 hours were people who just wanted to defend Matt Rife's right to tell a DV joke and not people who actually gave a shit about Matt Rife.
Yeah, look, and a lot of it was about humor and about comedy. And if they did their research and looked at the page, you would understand that we support comedy. We always have.
Oh, you can tell from their comments. You can see from their defense. Bitch, we were defensive. It's called being snappish. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. The minute you engage in that game, you lose. So don't engage. They're still coming to comment on our page. Like,
I thought I was.
Congratulations. Don't feed the trolls. Like, don't feed the trolls. They think they're winning. They think, and that's what Matt himself says. He goes, all of his internet trolls are just these sad, lonely, angry people that feel the need to strike out at something. So what's the easiest way to do it? behind a keyboard on a screen without actually having to say something
Yeah,
face to face someone
here's
and
the
to
thing.
stand up for what you believe in.
For me, I find it entertaining as fuck.
I know you must be living your best life.
I
This
am.
happened over
I-
Thanksgiving.
Because
I might
the-
have to sign into the page later and like comment back
Yeah.
because
Oh
I
my
love
God.
talking to
Christy,
people
let's go.
I'm
online.
telling you, it is the easiest way to lose 3 hours of your fucking life, especially with
Oh,
that
I
many
can't wait.
Oh my
comments.
god, I was so
Yeah.
wound up last night I couldn't sleep.
That's why I didn't even go
Renata's
onto it, 'cause
famously
I
a
know
doom
what I would
scroller on
do.
TikTok.
You
go
just
tonight
pick one
instead of
person and fight
Yeah.
with them fucking for hours. Just go back and forth.
Yeah.
But you
instead
got-
of
I will.
TikTok tonight, Renata, just go through the comments on the Matt Rife article. You'll go on an
Okay,
emotional
I will.
roller coaster.
I will.
It's hours of fun.
and
Hours
then
of
you
fun.
pick somebody, right? And you just start talking random shit to them to really try to throw them off and be like, I'm so sorry that your wife left you. You know what I mean? And they're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? They fucking start going crazy, right? Be
Oh
like,
my
I
God.
can see why she left you. Your response, I'm so sorry. I hope
Because-
it gets better.
And again-
the bankruptcy must really be affecting your responses. You know what I mean? They fucking lose.
Oh
This is
my
what-
God.
this is what-
Oh my God.
So
This
much
is what
fun.
Matt says in
always
his
like
special.
mine when they say
Everyone-
I'm fat and ugly. They say to me, "Oh, you're fat and ugly." I go, "Yeah, I might be, but I'm guaranteed a root tonight."
But as Matt said in his special, you know, all
I
these
like
people
that.
that want to attack you on a social media profile, all that it takes to get ammunition is one click back, and they're on your profile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you want to throw stones, just make sure your house ain't glass, baby, because some people don't do passive aggressive. We just do aggressive. You know,
He was
like,
going on about my pathetic life, and I said, you're some rando on my page. I think I'm doing fine. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're the fucking
still came
idiots
to us.
coming to us. You're commenting
Yeah.
on our shit that you say you don't want to be bothered on, but you're the fucking loser that took the time out of your life to comment on our shit because you had nothing better to do.
especially
Exactly.
when there's a button now that
Alright.
says, "I don't want to see this content."
Right.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
one guy, I was like, dude,
Press the button, bitch.
block us. Knock your fucking self out. Nobody's stopping you, buddy. What are you doing with your
Yeah.
life?
God.
Fuck
And
off.
they keep coming back to comment again. It's like, well, for
Yeah,
someone that's
keep
not
coming back.
interested, you seem
Yeah,
very
they can't stop
invested.
coming for you.
Like, that's not defensive. I'm fucking thoroughly entertained that you're all this simple, bitch.
Their reasoning, because they have learnt this way, that this is how they actually feel empowered. This is their only
Yeah.
state of power that they have. And by continuing to comment, it's like when you go down to the mall and you see people continually yelling at each other really loudly. They're just doing exactly the same thing online, where they have no stop. They are just continually just yelling at each other, abuse. And then normally what happens is that they go home and they're fine until the next outage, until the next outrage. And that kind of shows the type of environment that they have grown up in, which is really sad, that the only way they can talk to each other is through anger and yelling at each other, yelling abuse at each other, and not being able to have a conversation to each other. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's like the only way you can see me is if I verbally abuse you.
Jennifer.
Right.
Thank you, Jennifer. You guys are horrible.
Yes, we really are. We're the worst.
She's
Oh
only
my
joking. She's only joking.
Oh my God.
We're so bad our parents won't watch.
At least we
Yeah.
got one. We got one. I'm upset that we haven't been bombed, but you know, there's still time. It's getting late at night. You notice that during the day we were getting bah, 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 and the later it got in America, it's like so we'll see. Maybe the show will get maybe we'll go viral tomorrow with the live show.
Wait for the
We'll
people
see.
on Ambien to log on.
Yeah.
And they
I'm-
having
I'm good.
These are in. I gotta go to bed.
We are the best kind of horror.
Oh,
Sure.
isn't it like a Leanne Rimes song? Oh no, that's
No, that's called I Stole Your Husband, Brandy Glanville. Too soon. No, it's all right. Speaking of horrible venom spewing from people, Speaking of horrible venom spewing from people, it's time for everyone's favorite segment. Beer event.
Oh, there.
Oh,
You're
I had to put down my water.
2, 1, vent.
Well, I got to tell you, Renata stole my steam. Not that I'm upset about it. I'm glad to have somebody on my side, but I am going to talk about something else. Today, here in the United States, is Thanksgiving, and it's the day where, yes, we drove the Indians off their land, but let's look at it from a different perspective. It's a day to give thanks. And the majority of us here in this country are not living in a world like Palestine, where a different country controls our water, or a different country controls our lives, or a different country is going to give us humanitarian time to go. We live in a world where we have food and we have water. But even then, there are millions of Americans who live in hunger and poverty. And we need to take the time to be thankful, but we need to reach out and put our money where our mouth is. So I'm asking all of the listeners who like to listen to me get righteous and rageous, that to take the next 30 days between now and Christmas and do something good. You don't have to do anything expensive. You can just drop off a can of tuna at a food bank, or you can volunteer to drop off Christmas presents for the toy drive. It doesn't have to cost you a lot, but take the time to realize how privileged you are. And you know what? It doesn't matter how privileged you are. You can do something for somebody else that needs something. Sometimes people just need a ride. Be there for people. Be aware of what people need. And I'm not saying be a bleeding heart and give you the shirt off your back. You don't have to go that far, but you can make the world a better place in small ways. And between now and the holiday of Christmas that everybody gets so mad and says we can't say, fuck you, we say it all the time. Even atheists say Merry Christmas. Fuck you and your fake outrage. Do something good. Don't just buy another flat screen TV. Don't just plan a meal that you're going to throw half of it out because everybody's gorged to the max. Do something good. Take the time to figure out something small. You don't have to tell anybody about it. You probably shouldn't tell anybody about it. Just fucking do it. Thank you.
That's Nike's new slogan.
It's so simple.
Just fucking do it.
Do
Do
it.
something nice.
Jeffrey's going to do something very nice for a poor individual over Christmas, so it's all right.
No, I'm not.
Bitch, you gonna give me a home?
You don't count.
I don't count. Oh, look, I don't count. That's how much we love each other.
I'm putting you to fucking work, so I don't know why you think I'm doing something nice. I'm thinking you're doing something nice.
I'm aware. Wait until those kids are dressed in your curtains and come downstairs. It's gonna be great. We're going on the road with the Emmett family singers.
Steve's bed.
We'll have to we'll have to do a bit of a crossover. I'll give you a bit of a tour of Jeff's house when I get there. And Renata, you can talk to the ghosts that are in Jeff's house. They're very fun. They're nice to meet. But thank you so much for joining us today, Ian and Renata. It's been
Thank you.
It's been interesting. I mean, it's always nice to let off a bit of steam, and we're here, as someone famous once said. We'll, we're not going anywhere. We'll be here. We'll be here next week.
We're gonna be here longer because we got 3 million page interactions.
We got all of these comments to read. We're very, very busy. We do our due diligence here, but that is it for you. See our live this week. We will. Oh God, my God. We will see you again next week, unless we get cancelled. But
Steve, can you go? That's all, folks. Please.
No, I can't. I'm triggering people. See you later, fuckers.
Trump has a little penis. So does this Trump. Allegedly. It might be a cocaine. Who's to say? listen to Brooke. She's done a